People are funny and hypocritical to me. I was just thinking about it. I was doing another video and this came up. But people are so adamant about voter fraud. So adamant, some people, and hypocritical about voter fraud. And it's hypocritical because there's no evidence of voter fraud. But they're doing everything they can to prove that there's voter fraud. But there isn't. But meanwhile, there's extreme evidence of voter suppression. Removing mailboxes, voter suppression. Removing ballot boxes. And having so people have to drive long distances in black and brown areas and poor areas, voter suppression. Changing the time limit, so like if you didn't vote in 2 years, all of a sudden you're not registered anymore. Voter suppression. Or having certain IDs in certain areas. Not everybody has IDs, but you can't use IDs, student cards, whatever. Voter suppression. Making it difficult so people in certain areas or certain groups can vote. We all should be able to vote. That's all right. It's not something we should have to go after. It's something that this should be mine. Just like water is mine. Just like my air is mine when I breathe. Voting is just my right. I don't need to prove it. I don't need to go after it. I just be able to walk in and vote. But people use whistle call of voter fraud, which is all made up. It's all bullshit. It's all propaganda. So that they can do what they really want to do, which is justify voter suppression. There's no evidence. Like, we're not stupid, right? We're intelligent, all of us. And so we see over and over again as they talk about it. I mean, they think if they talk about it over and over again, we're just going to believe them. And some people do. Some people do because they want to. Some people do because they're ignorant. But some people, they want to do it and they want their base to win, whatever the situation is. They don't care how they win. They're not worried about democracy. They're not worried about fairness. They just want to win. And they want to win against whatever the group is they're trying to exclude. Because that group doesn't matter. So it's okay if we make a decision over that group, because that group doesn't matter. I have separation. I can't relate to that group, so it's okay. So they go along with this voter fraud bullshit when there's no evidence. There's no evidence. But it's hypocrisy at its best because they say it over and over again. And meanwhile, they use it to justify voter suppression. Voter suppression. They justify voter suppression. Hey, we got to make these changes here because we got voter fraud. And so they justify voter. So they use it to justify voter suppression because that's all they want anyway. This whole voter fraud thing is to eliminate the votes of certain people so that I can get what I want. That's all it's about. Doesn't even mean they're racist, though they probably are. But it doesn't mean they're racist. Doesn't mean they're biased. It means they're trying to figure out and leverage to get what they want. And the way to get what they want is to have less people voting, less brown people voting, less young people voting, less women voting. Because the agenda that women, young people, and brown people have is a different kind of America. It's America of equality. It's America of health care. It's America of increased wages. It's a different kind of America. And some people don't want that kind of America yet. So they're doing everything they can to make this America not happen yet. So they throw this voter fraud bullshit out there. And they say it over and over and over again. Look around and see who's saying it. Voter fraud. You know who's saying it? Rich people. Rich white people, in fact. They're saying voter fraud. People who have health care. People who have money. people who are higher in politics, they're saying voter fraud. They're hollering voter fraud. They're leveraging voter fraud. That's not even true, but leveraging on every case. Look at the news stations they're talking about, like Fox News. Look at them. They're leveraging it. They're saying it. They're claiming it. But look who they are. Here's what's interesting. Fox News and these people made it very clear what direction they want the country to go in and how they vote. And they didn't get it. So they hollered voter fraud because they didn't get it. And then so they convinced some of us who are ignorant, because I've watched people sometimes, and it's a strong word, but you're just talking points to me or whoever, and you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You're just doing talking points. You're just repeating what they told you to say. And you don't intellectually understand or even try to understand it. There's no danger here except we believe this voter fraud bullshit. And it's just bullshit. The real danger is the voter suppression. And we are allowed it. We are allowed in our cities because we continue to vote these people in who support this stuff and say there's voter suppression here and we got to do this. It's an insult. It's an insult in this time of day that we have voter suppression. Because you know why? They do it right under our fucking nose. They do it under our fucking nose. They remove the mail ballots in areas under our nose. They're moving them around under our nose. And then they holler voter fraud and they want us to believe it as if we're stupid. It's an insult. You all should be insulted. Black, white, all of us. We all should be insulted. And we're all affected by it anyway. This voter fraud stuff is not just affected by people of color. All people are affected by it in some way. Why these people make these decisions for us. That's all I got.